In this video, we'll discuss competency-based gradebook entry for kindergarten through 2nd grade. Instead of traditional marks, students in grades K through 2 are evaluated using a developmental continuum with a grading scale of 4 for advanced, 3 for proficient, 2 for basic, and 1 for below basic. The standards, or competencies, are grouped by categories. For kindergarten, the competency categories are literacy, social studies, mathematics, science, art, music, dramatic play, physical development, and life skills. The competency categories for grades 1 and 2 are the same, except dramatic play is removed and physical development becomes physical education, or PE. You will receive more training from your alts on the actual competencies. This video is for the TAC Gradebook entry. I've logged into the TAC Gradebook. At the start of the school year, you will only see your primary homeroom and scheduled courses. Remember that the homeroom is where you will enter attendance daily using one of these two icons. You can change the view to see only attendance. Change the view back to My Classes to see all. When we get closer to the end of the first 9 weeks, a process will be run by your registrar that will allow you to see and work in the competency area. There are 2 ways to get to the competency mark entry from the home page. You can click on the appropriate competency icon that looks like blocks, or you can hover over Grade Reporting and click Competencies. If I want literacy, I can click the competency icon and the program will take me straight to that competency. Let's start entering literacy competencies for this 1st grade teacher. Be sure to notice the competency and marking period listed at the top. I'm working in literacy for the first 9 weeks. If I want to go to another competency, I can click Change and select another one. I can change the marking period here, or select a different competency here. Notice I'm also using grid entry. We will look at list entry later. Grid mode displays rows for students and columns for competencies. If you know the score you wish to enter, type it in the appropriate cell. If unsure of your options, click the magnifier. This particular competency for 1st grade refers to the student's reading level. Make your selection, then hit Enter or down arrow to stay in the same competency but go on to the next student. Notice that if I type in an invalid score, the box is highlighted in red and I will not be able to save the changes until I fix the invalid entry. The next competency column has choices of 4, 3, 2, 1, or not currently evaluated. Select the appropriate remark, hit Enter, and then you can type in the mark wanted for each student. Once you have entered scores for students, click Save. You can come back to this competency later if you just want to enter some of the scores at this time. If you wish to move to another competency category, click Change to select another one, or click Home to go back to the home screen. Now let's look at the list view for the same competency category. List mode displays a student's section on the left and allows you to select one single student, then displays a single column for the student's competency information on the right. Again, you can use the magnifier to view score options, or you can just type in a score. You can click Save to save a single student's score, or you can enter all students' scores and then click Save. I personally would use the list view for any category that contains several competencies, like literacy or math. For example, social studies contains only 2 competencies, so the grid view might be more convenient to add scores to all the students on one screen. Let's look at the life skills and effort category, as it is slightly different and contains some defaults or preset scores. Switch to list view to see it from one student's perspective at a time. Notice that each field already has a plus sign. This means the student consistently demonstrates at an independent level. You can leave the plus signs or change them as needed. The last section of this category is for areas that may help the child's progress. Place a minus sign only in the cells that need improvement for this particular child. Again, click Save when finished. Notice a green checkmark appears after you save any scores for a student. The green checkmark, however, does not mean that all scores are completed. It just means that some have been saved. The load icon will not be used at all during this process. The comment icon is used to enter free text comments that will appear on the student's report card. Click the icon and make sure you're on the correct student. You may select a pre-populated phrase. Notice they're also in Spanish. You can enter a unique comment in addition or instead of the pre-populated phrases. The comments are not competency specific and can be entered for a student regardless of which competency category you're currently working in. The max number of characters for this field is 400. While in list view, the eyeball icon allows you to show or hide previous markings periods, scores, and comments. For example, if we are in the 4th 9 weeks, you would see previous marking periods, scores, for each student to get the bigger picture. If I click it again, I can hide those previous marking period scores. Your campus TAC contact can help if you have any questions. More information on the gradebook can be found in the Humble ISD TAC manual. From the home page, look for it in your Tools menu at the top of the screen. The Cognos printout for the student report cards will come from the campus office and will look similar to the handwritten report cards from past years. This is a sample report card from kindergarten. This is a sample report card for 1st grade. And this is a sample for 2nd grade.